Good morning. I'm Desirae Vallier. And as Deborah said, she asked me if I would share about the Abbey and what it means to me. Without going into a ton of detail about my childhood, I did experience a lot of darkness and uncertainty when I was growing up. And one of the ways that I was able to deal with my emotions was by running. And I would run and run and run for hours sometimes. It was my saving grace. And then when I hit my teens, that was taken away from me due to some pretty botched up knee surgeries that I had. And so then I couldn't run anymore, and I had to figure out some way to escape my crazy family and the pain of growing up, and just trying to figure out some way to get through the toughest years of my life. So I started writing poetry, and one of the poems that I wrote when I was a teenager still rang true for me for many, many years. And so I wanted to share that poem today. And it is called The Voice. A faint voice woke me last night, a cry for help, a struggle, a fight. The voice pleaded, "Please help me." I reached out, but couldn't get free. I could feel sadness in the air. I could feel pain everywhere. My body began to quiver and shake. Slowly, my heart began to break. The voice screamed, "Let me out of this place." Burning tears streaked my face. I wanted desperately to free the voice, but I was a prisoner. I had no choice. The voice was in agony, screaming and crying. I had to help. I couldn't stop trying. "I'm coming," I cried. "I'll be your friend." But the voice was gone when I reached the end. I thought I saw a familiar face. I searched the room. There wasn't a trace. Then I realized the voice was my own. Deep inside, I was completely alone. And that's a pretty crappy way to feel as a teenager. So I felt like that most of my life. I felt like I was an outsider looking in, a circle trying to fit into a triangle. It wasn't that I didn't have good things in my life. I had a best friend, an amazing husband, a career I loved, and I worked on my family issues and developed a wonderful and loving relationship with my parents. I had a lot of adventures, and some were amazing, some not so amazing. And through it all, there was this little part of me that could still hear that voice, the voice of uncertainty, the voice of sadness, the voice of not being good enough, the voice of being completely alone. When the voice changed, it surprised me. I remember it very clearly. It was a Saturday morning, and it was my 50th birthday. I woke up with a clear thought: I want to go to church. And this was a really weird and awkward thought, since I had not been to church outside of weddings or funerals for about 30 years. And so I texted a couple of my friends, and the first thing that my friend Kelly texted back was, "Who is this, and what did you do with Desirae?" So although I had avoided it for such a long time, that voice led me here. And although it was winter and the ground was covered in snow, walking into the Abbey that Sunday morning was like walking into an eternal spring for me. I loved so many things right off the bat. I loved how inclusive the Abbey was and how intimate it felt. I loved that I was invited right away to participate in communion, and I didn't have to be a member. I loved that there were countless and wonderful ways to be of service to other people. And I especially loved when Pastor Chris, and some of you may remember her, said to me, we had a conversation, and she said, "I think we're the same friends, I think we are friends with the same Jesus." And that just really touched me. The list goes on and on. And since then, I've received many gifts from that first day of the Abbey, and the greatest gift of all is that I no longer feel alone. I feel I am a part of something greater than myself, and today I want to thank the voice for guiding me to my spiritual family and for walking beside me for all those years that I dreamt I was running. Then Deborah also asked me if I would talk a little bit about what earth as it is in heaven. And I really struggled with this. I think I was thinking, I was thinking so far outside of really what she was asking, and then we had a conversation, and she said a few things to me, and I was like, oh, okay, I can do that. So earth as it is in heaven. For me, it's bringing heaven down here, that we can actually experience what we might imagine heaven to be, and bringing it here on earth and actually living that now and experiencing it now. Earth as it is in heaven, there is no separation between any being and the divine. There is enough for everyone to have their needs met, to know they are loved, and to feel secure in their authentic selves. There is only transparency, openness, and flexibility, which creates total peace, total joy, total awareness, and total love. Earth as it is in heaven, for me, it looks like caring for the earth through organic farming and sustainable practices that help the earth rather than hurt it. It looks like budding trees in the springtime and fields of daisies and tall sunflowers smiling at the sun. It smells like fresh cut grass, a gentle rain, and lilacs in bloom. It feels like the delight of watching a hummingbird hover and dart from one flower to another, the awe I feel when I'm witnessing a sunset in the mountains or being visited by manatees while kayaking near the ocean. Earth as it is in heaven, there is singing, dancing, laughing, and of course, lots of bubbles. Thank you.